Hi everybody, it's Diane here with scrap stuff. These are mostly file folder cut-offs. My scrapbook paper scrap box, some scrappy fabric, some main images that are scrapbook paper, and then some couple faux stamps I made, 3, and one old collage sheet image. I've already pieced some together, as you can see. So let's piece a few together. Then I'll pause and glue these, and then we'll come back, and that's not done to me. It needs something. Think about what it needs and let me know by the time I get to that card. Well, what's going on with everybody? Are we surviving the summer heat? I guess I am so far, although we're due for another heat wave in a couple days here. Not real happy about that. It's kind of cute. That might go in the junk book. Well, if that had some kind of color on the top, that could be done at this stage, I would say. I think it's too bright. I like it with the background stuff, but it's too bright with the main image. I was sort of contemplating getting a new main image there for a minute. But that's cute. I won't do that. What's the point of that, Diane? It is different, but it's not the right color. No. I was thinking, well, it's just a scrappy little collage thing. Just use that. No, I couldn't talk myself into it. All right, she could talk herself into that. It's not so bright. Okay, come hither. Okay. What else do we have here? A couple stamps. That's scrapbook paper. That's pretty. Can you see? Okay. It's an envelope. You may or may not be able to tell that. Yeah, save your colored envelopes. It needs some blue, doesn't it? I think we can get rid of this fold. Well, crease. A fold line. Oh, that's not bad. Tan dark. I think that's a little better. It's still a little dark though. Hello, turquoisey color. Not too green. You're wasting valuable craft time. Okay. It's kind of pretty. You need something on the base. I don't really like that off-white. I don't know, do I have a real pale pink? That's too close. Mm, probably not. Ooh. No, the flowers aren't going to work right. Isn't that neat? P.S. I still wait for you. Hmm. Hmm. Boy, there's a story waiting to be told, huh? Okay. What about a real pale purple, which I am willing to bet I do not have? Or we could just paint it, or we could ignore it at this point. That's what I would do, Diane. Would you please move along? All right. What about a snippet of fabric? Or what about fabric on the base? Okay, see, good things come to those who wait and search and hunt and peck. Okay, definitely needs something. Um, Words are a definite possibility on these. They most likely will wind up being journal cards. Did I say that? Forgive me if I already said that. About the borders. I was going to say might be too wide, but maybe not. That's cute, but I think this is way too simplistic with that. But you can do that. Feel free to do it on yours. The color was nice. No, I mean, you're boring us as usual. Well, thick, no. Okay, stay away from dark, Diane. Okay. Okay, I think I'm just going to go with that to spare you further boredom. What about this? This isn't going to go. No, Diane, that doesn't go. Okay. Okay. Racing right along. Let's try this just because I think it's going to be difficult. Isn't that fun though? That's scrapbook paper. I think it's fun. Yeah, that way you can hunt around more. Okay, well here's the same envelope. Or what's left of it. All right. I suppose if you wanted to, you could actually make like a little scene, put pictures, another rug, a cat or something. I wasn't really going to go that route, but that could be fun. This could be fun. Pretty paper, isn't it pretty? That's nice. It's a garden room, get it? Well, um, you know, the main subject there is a lot going on. Maybe we don't want a lot else with it. You could almost just stitch a line on the bottom. All right, yeah, let's not overdo this. Okay. Okay, let's piece together one more. And then it's kind of long. I'll pause and finish these off as I am now. This is long too. And then we'll come back and do what I said, add detail stuff. Okay. I'm thinking of cutting the bottom of this, but my trimmer isn't handy and I'm not doing it by hand. I could do a rough cut by hand, but then I will go back. Okay. I don't know. If you're cutting something short, it's not bad. But no matter how careful, it seems like I try to be with stuff like that, I just cannot cut it straight. Maybe if there was a line, and I'll stress maybe, sometimes I still don't get it straight. Well, this is a gingham. It's a really tiny little scale. Okay. Okay. All right, I'm going to do what I said. Come right back. Okay, I'm back with a bunch of cards. I see this one I didn't trim. There's 3 over there that are still, the glue is drying, so we're going to wait with those. But let's see. All right, this is a tad crooked. I can tell that right now. I have ribbon, trim, paint, washi, rubber stamping, rubber stamps for rubber stamping. It's kind of bright. I don't think I like that. Now, wouldn't you think red would be nice on there? Okay, if you don't like it, then what would you put on there? How about all the excitement of black? What would that do? Boring. Okay. Okay, what about a blue? Okay, I'm not going to hunt around for years. Really, Diane? Well, in this one case. Okay, now let's make sure the ribbon is not crooked, or that's going to defeat the whole purpose of this. Okay. Okay. Let's round the corners. Um, to me, that's a good trick on some of these cards, that if you're trying to make them sort of simple, it takes away just a little bit of the visual space, that, you know, there's nothing happening out in those corners, so just get rid of them. You don't need corners in your life. Okay, that's nice. What about a word? You could certainly add a flower or something over here, but I would watch it that it doesn't start competing with your dog image there. All right, what about so much fun, just because I saw it? Okay, well, as I was cutting out so much fun to put on a dog card, my dogs thought it would be so much fun to bark at somebody walking their dogs down the sidewalk. So I had to pause. That's not bad, but yeah, now what? She's kind of creating more problems instead of solving. I don't think I want paint on that card. It's a little too pristine looking. Does that make any sense to anybody? It's not, no, has any schmutzy stuff going on that you would want to put schmutzy paint on. Does that make sense? Okay, that's getting there. Maybe then another flower down here. Such as, well, what about the yellow? I don't know if that's too pale. Here, this red one is going to come with it, so maybe we can use that too. This is going to take a long time at this rate, isn't it? Especially when you can't pick stuff up. All right, that's pretty nice. Let me glue this down. Otherwise, I know it's going to magically disappear. My house is magic. It's so much fun. Okay, I'll fussy cut that stuff by myself. All right, that's kind of cute. But is it fun? Okay. Let's round the corners. Because everybody wants to, oh, you know what? I can't. That's fabric. That, I don't think that's going to work. It might. But I am old enough to know, if you don't, sure, don't chance it. Just don't, just say no. Okay, would a word help this? Well, it would if we had one that would be appropriate. What about special? That's okay. All right, anybody my age know what's going through my mind right now with the word special? The church lady. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, we need a place to put it that doesn't look awkward. That's not bad. It'd be nice if it was straight. Still not straight. All right, I'll straighten that up on my own. Definitely use something. Although for a little collage journal card, that's okay. I think sewing. Okay. All right, here's our sofa, and I mean, it looks like an ottoman, but they've got stuff on it. So I think they swung it over there to use it as a side table. That's what I think. Really, Diane? Yeah, really. Okay, why does this look crooked? It's cut. I think it's an optical illusion with that. Okay, well, I will trim that off if we don't camouflage that in some way. Well, that could just have sewing on the bottom. What about a ribbon on top, though? What about rickrack? That might be kind of cutesier. I'm sure I have dark green. Like right here. It's kind of dark. And I maintain this is new rickrack. The ricks aren't that racky. Where's an old one? Oh, you're wasting everybody's time. I know. This is so important. All right, here's an old one. Now look at that. Look at how the arc on that. And look at the new ones. What is that? Why change that? What is that? It's cheaper to do it that way? Is that? I mean, of course, I'm kidding. I don't know. Some new executive thought this looked better. I don't think it does. And I think Diane's going to write a letter to somebody. Well, there's white. I think I like that better than the green. There's red, and you can tell this is old. No. No. All right, let's just do white. That looks newer. It also feels different too. It's more plastic, man. It's like, more nylon-y. The old stuff you could tell is more just like a cotton. Which I don't know, maybe the old stuff shrank or something. That's a possibility. Diane, why are you discussing all these intimate details of rickrack? I don't know. Her mind wandered. And it's almost dinner time. Maybe I'm hungry. Well, I didn't get too much done, did I? 2.5? Okay. I like that. Sewing on the bottom. And yeah, that side. Well, what if we slopped a little paint? Should have done that first before you put the rick rack down. And closed caption has all kinds of issues with rick rack. Sometimes they get rick right, but I've had things like roof rack and rick and all kinds of crazy things. Really, Diane, but it's such a common word. Everyone on YouTube is discussing it right now. I know. That's why I'm so trendy. Okay. Okay, that's fine. And it covers up that crooked line. Okay, good. All right. Well, we just did pink. Let's do something else. This one I intended to trim because it hangs over, but then I decided it was kind of neat and I left it. That could just have some sewing and a word. Well, merit isn't too bad. Meaningful, creative, ponder. What about Mary? I think the bolder font is good here. You gonna cut that straight? Probably not. That's not too bad, but no, it's not straight. What if that was up and then we had sewing on the bottom? Okay, well that was quick. How about another one? Let's see. Oh, she didn't trim this one either. Dang, what is your problem? Okay. Isn't that cute? That's a faux stamp I made. And there are edges on there of the base card at the bottom. But it's even. I might leave it. Oh. Darn, this is so interesting. I know. What about the wonderful times? That sounds like Marion Davies' autobiography, the Times We Had. I never read it. I should read it. What was the, oh, that was part of it. Okay, we don't want that. Doesn't fit. I know. All right. Well, I think that's good to go with stitching around. What about the edges? What if we put some orange on the edges? Orange on the edges. Now, technically, the dots in the mushroom are orange. This background strip paper here, strip of paper, is actually more red. But we'll see. I think that'll be okay. Oh, this paint is watery. What's going on? I've never, just lately, it seems like I've had paint get watery. I mean, I've been using this craft paint for years. I don't. Is that another improvement they're making, like the Rick Rack? I know, I sound like an old person. Anybody ever notice when there's some improvement like that on a product? It's never better. I don't know. Okay, I know it's kind of sloppy. If you want to make yours perfect and show me up, go ahead. Okay, I think with stitching that will be fine. Okay, people. I have a lot more to finish off. I'm going to do all that by myself. Then we can come back for show and tell. That'll be fun. Okay, hang on a minute. Okay, gang, all finished. Sewing. It's kind of cool. I will say none of these are overly complicated, but I think they worked out nice. I did round a few more corners. Now this one, this is all, it's a Tim Holtz wallpaper, but it's all background paper and the watch and a phrase, and that's it. You're right, Diane, they're not overly complicated. That one's kind of cool. Now this one, I only rounded the top because this is fabric displayed on the bottom, so I didn't want a chance punching that and having it not work, but I think that's a cool look too. These two receive faux stitching around. Just kind of thought that went better with the style of those cards. This one, this is scrapbook paper back here, and it's like a hill. So it looked a little blunt, so I carried paint over. That looked better in my opinion. This is a fabric trim here. No word on that one. So fun. And this one obviously is definitely a journal card. Put a label right on the front and then you can designate it for journaling. Okay, well thanks for watching. I was just looking for a little, a project. I didn't know what to do, so here's what we did. Thanks everybody. I hope you have a nice day.